Hi, everybody. Before we begin the episode, the intro, and everything, I just wanted to pop in and say this episode did not go up when it was supposed to. So you're going to hear me say that it was like this Friday is January 1st or something. And obviously today is like January 18th. So just giving you the heads up. Hope you enjoy the episode. Continue. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Smile. Hi, friend. You're listening to Marysaystosmile, the podcast I hope you get something out of. Whether it's a smile, laugh, or learning something about whatever it is we're talking about. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Mary, and today I am joined by none other than
Noah.
That's right, guys. It is my little brother, my Ototo.
As the youth would say, what's good?
I feel like if people listen to this, they would be like, how old is this fool? Like, why does he sound like an old man?
I just don't use the same lingo.
Lingo!
That people like 4 years younger than me use.
Right. But yes. I feel like I love calling you and Daniel Ototo, but then when I say it, I just sound like so white. And I feel like the Japanese community is always just like, what did she say?
I don't know. I heard that like the Japanese love it when we share their culture, like wear a kimono and whatnot.
I don't know if you know this, but we're full Japanese.
Yeah.
You talk about it like we're not.
Well, I mean, you were saying you.
That's true. I'm a gaijin.
And then like in Hawaii, we use pidgin, which is a combination of a bunch of languages. So you have like, you can have Japanese next to Hawaiian, next to Filipino, and
Word.
it's fine.
Yes. The more you know.
Yep.
Guys, before we go any further, I have to give a shout out to today's sponsor, my sugar cousin, Kara Farm D Sugar Mama. Okay. Kara, I love you so much. She doesn't listen to podcasts at all. She was like, I don't listen to podcasts, but I want to support you. So she bought me a freaking microphone. Like, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you gotta pay her back. Yeah, I gotta pay her the first 10% of your first $1 million you get.
Oh god. But you know what? I would. I love her. I really do. She's like one of my favorite people, honestly.
The donating thing, like that's something my band director says.
Oh really?
Yeah, he tells all the musicians at Manoa, like, oh, the first 10 million you gotta donate 10% or something like that.
I love that. That's like Mr. Olive from Waikiki High School.
Oh yeah.
He's always like, okay guys, if you become astronauts or famous, you have to look deep into the camera and be like, I will give Mr. Olive $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, guys. So today's topic is, what did 2020 teach us? Because this Friday is January 1st, 2021. I low-key thought I was going to say this wrong. Low-key, this is me and Noah's like 5th time trying to like speak and record, because like the 5 other recordings are just like us laughing because we can't take each other seriously.
Yeah.
But this is your first time on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the last. But tell them a little bit about yourself. Who is you?
Well, I'm Noah, he, him. I'm currently attending college at UH Manoa.
Manoa.
Yeah, music education major. So like,
wow,
learning a whole bunch of stuff. I learned a lot from my classes this semester.
Mm-hmm. So you're in college. How old are you?
21.
Wow, get lit.
Yeah.
Okay. So Noah, what did 2020 teach you?
Oh, so one of my my flute teacher at Manoa, one of her philosophies, which I thought was like a really hippie thing of her to say, so I was like wasn't entirely open to it, but she says that everything happens for a reason, and the universe will like this whole thing about energies you put out, and the universe will resonate with you and send similar energies back. But she always said that the universe does things intentionally, like with a purpose. And I suppose as I've been reflecting on things throughout the year, I suppose that's been true. For example, I missed a really important deadline.
Oh yeah.
Because of that, I might be set back a semester or two. But in a way that's a good thing, because then I'll start my student teaching further away from the pandemic.
Oh, that is a good thing.
So
yes.
In a way, that might be a good thing. Like, and another thing is like, maybe the universe will throw something that really puts a wrench into your schedule.
Right.
But that's the universe's way of telling you need to take a step back.
Yeah.
And relax, or maybe you're not ready for something.
So some of these sayings and such, you only heard it from your flute teacher? Because I feel like I see girls post this on their Instagram stories like every other day.
Oh, I don't follow a lot of people on Instagram.
Right, yeah. Right. Well, I'm just saying, those are actually very popular posts. Like, yes, the energies you put out is what you'll get back. So try to put out positive energy and good things will happen. Versus if you're like a mean, nasty Karen, then...
The thing is, those are being posted by influencers on Instagram.
No, like literally everyday girls always post that stuff.
I don't know.
Yes, sis.
Sometimes I feel like people post things on their story to be facetious.
He said, I have a vocabulary. I have range with my words.
Oh, bro, you let me speak more local.
Oh, bro, no.
Oh, the kind.
Are we going to just try to offend like every ethnic nationality out there? Because I think we're like hitting them, sis.
No. I have a high respect for people who can like just really fluidly blend between speaking white, just plain English versus speaking pidgin.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, for them, because to me that signals that they can do both. They can understand when it's appropriate to use both.
Yes, yeah. I love that. Okay, wait, but going back to what you said, I don't know why, but when you said that reminded me of, I was just talking to this person once, and I was going through a hard time with one of my friends, and I was just really sad because I was like, I really love her, and I thought she was going to be in my life forever. And this girl was like, Mary, friendships or relationships in general are like they start at points of the bottom of a circle, okay? And as life happens, you guys will just naturally drift apart and away from each other, making like what is this called?
A parabola?
A parabola. But then...
Sis, algebra, come on.
Bro, math though, like not my thing. But anyways, you like do the parabola, like a U, right? And then if you guys are supposed to like come back into each other's life, you will do a complete circle. You know what I mean? But if, you're just not meant to be, then it's just going to be an infinite V.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what that reminded me of. And I think that's something I learned in 2020 was some relationships are just not meant to stay in your life forever. But when they were in your life, they definitely showed me a lot of things and helped me grow. But then also, like, if they're not supposed to be my life, that distance and leaving is also a very growing process.
I've really gotten into watching this mental health streamer, Dr. K. So Alok Kanogia is a psychiatrist based in Boston, and he runs Healthy Gamer GG.
Okay.
And so originally, like, what he was all about was video game addiction.
Oh.
But
do you struggle with that?
No.
Okay.
I know what the symptoms are.
Oh,
And I think I don't have some of them.
Noah, you want to hang out? No, I'm grinding right now. I gotta get to level 775.
One of the symptoms common across all addictions is when you're not doing the activity, you're thinking about the next time you're doing it. So you're obsessed over it. Which is only true 50% of the time, I think. Okay. So I've got a handle on it.
So I'm addicted to sleeping. I'm always like, when am I gonna go to sleep next?
But Dr. K, he blends Indian Hindu medicine or Ayurveda with Western medicine.
Okay.
And he brings a lot of like Hindu philosophies, and one of them is detachment or non-attachment.
Okay.
And so it's when things happen, like trying not to... expectations ultimately lead to disappointment.
Right.
Because either things meet it or it doesn't, and then you're disappointed.
Yes.
And so if you go into a relationship having a lot of expectations, then when the person doesn't meet them, you'll be disappointed. So the idea of non-attachment is that you'll accept things for as they are. It is what it is, which is common. Right. And that you'll enjoy them for when they happen, because it's not going to last forever, so you might as well enjoy it.
Yes, live in the moment.
Yeah. And so that's another thing too that I learned from Dr. K. And then some of the things he said were blended with my flute teacher. And she said something about non-attachment. You can have feelings, but you can't let them affect the things you do.
Oh.
If you're having a stressed day, don't let it show in your music. Because if you're performing for someone, you're going to subject them to a stressed experience. They didn't do that. They came here to listen to music, have a good time.
Right.
So when you're performing, you want to make sure that you can have those feelings, because like being unemotional, having no feelings, that's not going to make good music either.
Yes.
So you can have feelings, but you can't let it affect how you perform.
I feel that. I feel like dancers go through that as well. One of my teachers would always say in college, she was like, whenever you come to dance, leave your shit at the door.
Right.
And then when you come through that door, you're ready to work, you're professional. We understand it's going to be rough, but yeah, don't let it overwhelm you. I am always struggling to work with that. Yeah. I feel like I'm constantly just overwhelmed by my emotions. I just have so many emotions.
What I admire is that despite how much you get overwhelmed, you're still here. And it shows that, like, even though all these things are coming at you, you're still strong enough to take them on.
Wow. I feel like this is a very deep episode. Like, I feel like a lot of my episodes, not necessarily shallow, but I feel like
deep. I mean, if you want to talk about, like, clothes and whatever.
Sis, you would never talk about clothes.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, we could do one of the, like, the more interview-esque episodes where I can talk to you about, like, different games that you game. Like,
I don't game a lot of games.
World of Warcraft vibes.
I don't know a lot about that game.
I just play it?
Yeah.
I feel like you only got into that, like, recently.
Yeah, I was getting sick and tired of League of Legends. I was like, I want to play an MMORPG. Uh-huh. So I picked World of Warcraft, which so happened that my older sister Leah plays. Our older sister Leah.
She's my sister too, Noah.
And then, like, I've been playing with Leah's husband as well.
Oh my god, is that weird to say? It's weird for me to say. Yeah. Like, she's a husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2020 brought us a brother-in-law.
Weird. Yeah.
Also, and our older brother Sam has a girlfriend.
Do you think he would be comfortable with us talking about that?
Well, I really doubt he listens to my podcast. But also he posts it. So, I mean...
He posted 2 pictures of her. That there's like nothing in the captions or description. Kind of presumptuous, aren't we?
We are presumptuous. Oh my middle name, Mary. Presumptuous last name. Jumps to conclusions. Or me and my friends, we say we grand jeté to conclusions, because a grand jeté in dance and ballet is like a very large jump.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so what else did 2020 teach you, Noah?
I learned a lot about, like, sensitivity.
Oh?
Like being, like, using appropriate language. So like I've attended some inclusivity sessions. Hence the he, him, how to make your classroom inclusive, how as a teacher to be culturally sensitive.
Right.
And I took a music and special education class.
Lit.
So if I'm in public, I'm really like, oh, you gotta use person first language. So it's not an autistic kid, it's a kid with autism. Because you're not focusing on the condition.
Right.
You're focusing on them as a person.
I see.
So yeah. But like when I'm online with a bunch of friends that I know are comfortable with, like, being offensive, I don't believe I don't believe it at all. I am not inherently thinking that, like, certain races are better than others, but you know, we crack jokes.
Oh, I see.
Gamer
boys.
Yeah.
Would you say you and your friends are toxic gamer boys? Because you know how there's some, like, toxic...
I think one of them are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I haven't been playing with him since he mainly plays League.
Oh.
I haven't been hanging out with the same game. The gamer group we had in high school has kind of broken up.
Do you try to stay away from toxic gamer boy mentality?
For me, I think one thing that I try to be good at is learning from and what not to do. So when I see someone doing something poorly, I learn from that.
Nice.
When I've been under a bad band director, I knew, like, that is not what I want to do when I grow up.
Oh.
So when I'm surrounded people who I think are having a really bad attitude or really toxic mental state, then I know like, oh, I really want to avoid that.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I'm fairly confident that I don't pick up on their traits.
Yes, you a good boy.
Sure.
On TikTok, they say golden retriever energy. You're not quite that, but you a good boy. I think it's interesting that you brought up sensitivity, insensitivity. I feel like actually a few of our siblings could work on that.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's not so much a choice. If I want to get a job and keep a job, then I better do that.
True.
Like, for some of them, they've never had the I think if they like get into one of those trainings or sessions, they might learn. Then they might internalize it. But otherwise, what other experience or information are they getting?
That is true. I think like who they're friends with and who they're talked to and hang out with, that definitely will influence them and make them realize like the consequences of how they say things.
Yeah.
Because even some of my friends, they were like, they were friends with me, they were like, they didn't think so much about what they were saying or how they were saying it. But because I am a soft baby, they know that I would prefer if they would word things a certain way or just be aware of what they're saying, how they're saying it.
Yeah, I get that. At the same time, like, it takes mental effort and energy to be constantly thinking of what's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're around the people you love and trust, you hope that you don't have to put in that energy.
This is true.
Yeah, so like that's the thing, like with me and my brother, we'll talk about like we'll kind of hold a double standard, like when we're in public or talking to other people,
right,
we'll put this effort in, but then when we're dealing with each other, it's like, I don't think about you at all. Yeah. I'm not taking your feelings into consideration.
That is true, because my friend posted this thing. I just reference posts all the time, but my friend posted this thing and it was like, I'm no longer going to filter myself because the right people and the people that truly love and accept me will love and accept me despite what I say, you know?
Right.
It's just hard because there's always that line between.
It's always a blend. Like, you should be accepted for who you are, but at the same time, if there's something about you that you should objectively change, that's objectively bad. Then there should be people around you to point that out. And if you're not open to accept that, then you're gonna get a hard time.
That is true.
Yeah.
Word. Also, maybe we should say our not roller plays. What is it? Our lineup in the birthing and the siblings.
Oh, I am the baby of the family. Yes, I was born last.
Little baby. So we have an older sister, an older brother, me, the middle child syndrome. Why I have a podcast. No, I'm just joking. And then Noah is a twin. You have a twin, a roommate for life. And his twin is older by 11 minutes. Yeah. Our little Dan.
Oh, we have to cause like our person, like despite being twins, the personalities will still develop differently. Yes. And for me, I suppose the career I went for requires a certain level of maturity. So
I mean, Daniel is literally going to be helping save lives.
Right. But up until that point, he was a little bit more
immature, free
reign, so to speak. So like we have to constantly remind ourselves, Daniel's the older one. Because like it's almost a knee-jerk reaction for me to say me. No, Daniel's the other one.
Oh my gosh, so fun. I think kind of in 2020, I've also become what is it called? I'm more appreciative of our family. Yes. Yeah. Like we have a pretty solid family. You know, our parents are pretty tight. They're nice.
When you spend a lot of time on the internet, you meet a wide variety of people. Yeah. And I think that really helps keep perspectives in place. Yes. Like for me, I didn't realize, like I've met people who come from really kind of rough
broken homes.
Yeah. Not necessarily broken, but they've had a rough time. Right. Like so much rougher than I've had.
Oh, definitely.
So it really keeps, I think one thing that helps do is keep a level head. Like it's not so much like, well, people are suffering harder than you. That's kind of not a good perspective I want, but it's like, I can be strong enough to get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Also, because like you've been home this semester, I feel like we've bonded a little bit more. Like we have some pretty good conversations.
Yeah.
Yes.
I enjoy spending time with you.
Oh.
All right, we can delete this podcast now.
We're done. Delete, copy,
just
edit out.
Cut this out.
But even our older sister Leah, she's actually like really cool. And like I feel like being the oldest, she not necessarily was like a second mom, but she definitely laid down the law at some times where I just didn't agree with her. But then looking back on it, I was just like, oh, she meant well. And it's only because she wanted us to like do well and like succeed in everything. Right. And like now, like it's easier for me to talk to her and we actually just like vent to each other.
Aww.
And it's really interesting. And then it's really nice that she relates to me and like we just listen to each other talk and it's cute.
No, I feel a real disconnect between my older siblings.
Well, there's like 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like,
no, wait. You and Leah is like 14, 13?
13. Oh my god. So it's like
a whole teenager is between you and Leah.
I know, it's like by the time I was born, she was getting ready to leave the house. No,
yeah, but yeah.
So I don't have too many interactions, like really key fond memories of her.
Right.
Which is unfortunate. I was supposed to make them in February. When I was supposed the wind ensemble was taking a trip to Seattle. So I was supposed to spend some time with her.
Coronavirus. Yeah. But we appreciate family more.
Yeah.
All right, keep it going. What else did 2020 teach us? Take a shot every time I've said that.
Something like, I feel like there's something I can pull out right now, but I'm not getting it right now. Oh, okay. So, another thing I found interesting, I learned from the Dr. K streams in Ayurveda, the Hindu medicine. They believe they're like the mind is made of 3 elements, quote unquote elements.
Oh.
So it's either pitta, which is kind of like fire or oil, vata, which is air, and kapha, which is earth or water. So for pitta, this is like our society has been. This is a summary of things Dr. K has gone over. You can check out his YouTube channel.
Oh wow! Plug it in. All right. Sponsor us. No, just joking.
And so I really like the things he's talking about because so pitta. Well, let's start on one. It's kind of like a gradient, an extreme. There's vata on one end, kapha on the other, and then pitta, which is kind of a blend of both.
Oh.
So vata is air or wind, and like air or wind, it doesn't hold stuff well.
Okay.
So people with a predominantly, your mind can be a blend of these, but those who are predominantly vata, they learn quick and they forget quick.
Ooh.
And so for them, their mind races like wind and it will blow strongly in one direction. So they get really focused upon one thing.
Right.
And then shift directions. So in a lot of ways, they're kind of what you might think of ADHD.
Oh, okay.
And so for people like in our education system, it's not really streamlined for them.
Right.
Because you sit down, you do one task for a long time. Oh my gosh, and then for them, that's just, they can't do it.
Right.
For how they're supposed to do things is they're supposed to juggle as many balls as they can without dropping one. So instead of taking away things for them to focus on a single thing, which is going to burn them out, you're supposed to have them rotating through like 5 things. So they're doing 5 things at the same time, but they're rotating it. So they do one thing, get bored, move on to thing 2, get bored, move on to thing 3, get bored, move on to thing 4, get bored, move on to thing 5, get bored. And then their interest in thing 1 is going to be back.
Wow.
And they just, so the Dr. K is a vata. And so through college, he was failing a lot of classes. He was holding like a 2.0, less than 2.0 GPA.
Big yikes.
So what he did, he took extra classes. He was writing a book, and he joined a club.
Oh.
An extracurricular.
Oh, and then he would just rotate.
And he was just constantly shuffling. And then right now he's running his practice. He's streaming. He's writing a book, and he's maintaining healthygamer.gg.
Wow.
So for Vat, and to the people around them, that's amazing that they learn things that quickly.
Right.
And so when he was in his doing his residency, he would pick things up really quickly. His classmates would get jealous, and then the 3 months later, after you're done with it, he'd forget everything.
Okay.
Yeah. On the other end, we have Vata, Kapha, who are earth or water.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, they learn slowly. So what takes the Vata like 2 weeks to learn, it might take the Kapha a couple months, a month or two.
Okay.
But once they have it, it's memorized forever.
They got it.
Yeah, they have it down. So while the Vata is constantly rotating through like 5 different things, the Kapha is just one thing for the rest of their life.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And so, but they learn slowly. And then for Pitta, they're in between. They learn okay, and they forget after some time. So for them, they might shuffle between 2 things in their life. Oh. And they don't really go back to one because it's like half of their life is spent to one, and the rest of the life is spent to the other.
Fascinating.
And so, like, that's kind of the ideal. The society has idealized that because they're not forgetting things quickly, but they're not taking a long time to learn.
Yes.
So for Kaphas, they need a lot of time to focus, so they're really good at focusing. Just a constant river of water, constantly going the same way and slowly digging, eroding away to get what they need to go. That's Vata. But for one, they're really quick. Right. And then another thing is like how they deal with their reactions to stress. For Vata, they get like antsy.
Right.
For Pitta, they get angry. They kind of like project and like get frustrated with people. And then for Vata, they get it's called internalizing. They get really sad and depressive and isolated. They get like mud and sluggish. So like for you, I think you're very Vata.
Really?
Because it takes you a long time. Takes you a long time to learn things, and then how you deal with stress is you kind of get sad.
Fascinating. I think I learn things actually like pretty well, but I get mad.
Right. So you can.
So fascinating though that you think that.
Yeah.
So what do you think you are?
Kapha, not Kapha. Vata. For me, I've noticed I've been getting a little bit more Vata as time's going on, because like I don't know if it's because of online classes, but I've noticed I'm getting a hard time focusing. For the first 2 weeks of school, I wasn't keeping really good notes. Right. So that's probably why I have only an A- instead of a regular A in my music class.
So Asian.
But yeah, I think that's really interesting, and it's something that the education system doesn't really do a good job of, is that they don't cater to multiple learning styles.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Seriously, I need you and Zoe to just talk about the education system. Like, I just think it would be so fascinating, because I think you both are extremely intelligent individuals, and you both are very passionate about education.
Thank you.
And you both have strong opinions and are headstrong.
It's impossible, though, like, to change an entire system that's been in place since the beginning of the U.S.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, it's like not going to happen. It's not easy to make happen.
Right. But we are the future. We are the change. Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. Anything else you learned?
What did I learn from 2020? I think 2020 taught me how to do things by myself. Like, not necessarily like do things by myself, but like I can just stay at home and I don't have to hang out with people. I don't have to constantly go out. I can just stay at home and watch a movie by myself, or, like watch shows, or clean and like get rid of things and declutter, or like read a book, or get back to things that I used to really enjoy, but for some reason replaced it by going out and like socializing a lot. So I guess that's one of the good things that happened from not being allowed in the outside world and to hang out with people that I care about. But I also always say that I need to work on being more independent. So I feel like this was a good step in doing that, because I cannot be dependent on everyone. That's just not healthy.
Yeah, no, I agree. That kind of like your being by yourself idea. Like, because of the Dr. K streams, I did pick up meditation for a bit of time.
Oh, yes.
And so, like, one thing that helps Vata minds, like, anxiety tends to happen when the mind is racing and constantly thinking ahead.
Right.
What's going to happen next? Oh, this might happen. This could go wrong. That's what happens when people get anxious. And so meditation helps still the mind. And so I've taken up meditation to just keep the mind still and get used to not racing ahead, jumping to conclusions, getting worried about things.
Right.
And I think that's a really hard thing to do because our minds just want to, if we're predictive, then we can avoid behavior. That's how we have evolved. If we're predictive, then we can avoid being in bad situations.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when that gets turned up too high, we have anxiety.
Right. You overthink.
Yeah.
So what is something that you are hoping for in 2021? We've learned stuff in 2020.
In-person classes.
Ensembles
and music don't do really well if they're online. Another thing I learned in 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy with how things were going before the pandemic.
Right.
I was very satisfied. So, if anything, that's just what I'm looking forward to, where we're no longer online, basically. Because I don't think a lot of my teachers don't think everything's going to go exactly back to normal.
Right.
Because they have learned a lot from online teaching, which has produced a lot of research and has helped people understand teaching better.
Yes. But
I just want to be offline.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be the same as long as it's in person.
Yeah. How about we end today's episode by saying thank you 2020 for teaching me this. Goodbye though, and I'm gonna welcome 2021.
I have to grind on WoW. Bye. Thank you.
Well, okay, I'm gonna end by saying thank you 2020 for teaching me hard but valuable lessons, and I'm ready to implement and learn new things in 2021. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I feel like it was very different from previous episodes. Let me know if you liked it. Should we have Noah back? He's gonna be back no matter what you say.
I'm not like other girls.
But let us know what you think. Thank you very much for being here.
No, yeah, this was fun. Thank you for having me.
Yay! Okay, and now we say bye!
Bye.
Hi there. That was an episode of Marysaystosmile. Please like, share, review, and subscribe. Basically, however you're listening to this podcast. Also, I've made an email for you guys to send questions or topics that you would like for me to discuss/talk about. It's going to be himarysaystosmile@gmail.com. One more time, himarysaystosmile@gmail.com. Anyways, I hope you have the most amazing day. Bye!